For the last 5 months, I've been distracted. I've recorded a few YouTube videos, my workouts have been bare, my self-development has been minimal, the relationship I've been trying to cultivate with my God has been a fraction of what it should be, and I'm stuck here looking at how much progress was absolutely wasted. And this is from someone who has a pretty decent base of self-development and motivation and general discipline. And yet somehow I was distracted enough to avoid it all for the last 5 months. I barely got my workouts in. I barely ate good food. I barely put time into the necessary relationships that I had to cultivate. And as a result, my development was pushed forward minimally. And I'm looking around at hundreds of thousands of people just like me, many of them hundreds of steps before me, some in front of me, and I see a common thread of distraction between us all. We are all distracted. We are all being pushed away from the steps and opportunities that would bring us long-term satisfaction, long-term discipline, long-term happiness, and long-term morality. The world doesn't want us to wake up. The world does not want us to be better. Everything that makes us weaker is given to us on a platter, and everything that will make us better, stronger, better, good people is hidden. Either behind paywalls, behind lies, people telling you that you don't need to improve, people telling you that you are okay the way you are, or your actions and what you're doing to your body, your mind, and the people around you is healthy and normal. And I'm pissed. I am so pissed and fed up with this narrative that is being shoved down our throats, being shoved down our children's throats, being shoved down the throats of people we love, respect, and care about. And I have to talk about it. Do more than talk about it. I have to live it, to act it out, to show people that there is such a moral importance in everything that we do. And one cannot simply just step out. One cannot simply just ignore it all, because then the cycle continues to repeat on and the people in power continue to get what they want. Now, when I talk about the distractions that are put in front of us, the distractions can be, honestly, pretty much anything that's just in our daily lives. But for me personally, the first one that comes to my mind is pornography and Netflix. Cheap, easy to find. Who doesn't have a Netflix account or some form of streaming service that they've poured hundreds of countless hours into the past year, that's pushed them away from self-development tasks, that's hijacked the dopamine centers in their brain to only want to turn off the parts of our brain that are doing the thinking, and there are going to be the ones that push us towards a better life. That cognitive dissonance that you experience, that feeling of dissatisfaction that you quiet by surrounding yourself with Netflix movies, that's there for a reason. That's there to tell you to push yourself for a better life. That's there to tell you that you are unhappy, that something isn't right. And we silence that by turning on the television, turning on Netflix, turning on Hulu, turning on Disney Plus, and letting it hijack the dopamine receptors, letting it distract us as we slip into our couch with our handful of Taco Bell, other handful of Culver's, and it leads us to completely avoid the steps that will make us improve. On a second note, another huge thing that is destroying today's society is pornography. When you hit a dopamine high, dopamine can shoot significantly above the baseline. When it shoots significantly above the baseline, the come down puts you below baseline, and you either need time or more of the same or different stimulus to return back and then above the normal baseline. This becomes hugely and grossly more and more disproportionate in terms of going below the baseline to just get a little bit above the baseline, and then repeating the cycle over and over and over again. And pornography is the easiest way for cheap dopamine that any person can find anywhere in the world on their cell phones, and then consume unlimited amounts of, and be told by society that it's an alright thing to do. Therefore, hijacking all the pleasure centers in your brain to crave immediate pleasure, to shy away from any long-term effort required ventures that will provide a much more clean form of energy, a much more clean form of motivation, and a much more clean form of pleasure that can be spread out over a lifetime, not just years. You're playing with the chemicals of your brain, the fabrics of what makes you you, and you can't expect that to not change you. You can't expect that to not adjust the person that you are. You can't expect that to not lower the quality of your life in other areas. The feeling you get from masturbating to pornography is not a good feeling. No one finishes masturbation and is like, wow, look at me, look at the monster that I am. They feel shame, they feel bad about themselves, they feel the dopamine that they received dip drastically below baseline, that feel that open loop that your brain leaves you because you didn't do it with another person, you did it to a screen, and your brain doesn't know how to put that into feelings besides shame. It's there for a reason, and it's a trap that anyone can fall into. I fell into it years ago. I quit it, thank God, and I want to give everyone who supported me getting off of it a great handshake and a hug, and thank the Lord for being able to do that, and my girlfriend. But the issue is certainly a multifaceted issue that can't just be put into one singular issue. It's everything. It's everything that includes cheap dopamine hits that anyone can access at huge amounts that devolve your brain into a pleasure-seeking animal that shies away from all long-term, hard, effort-based dopamine releases that are going to be what change and make the difference in your life. So I just want to talk about that. I just want to talk about this slightly. I just wanted to talk about something that's incredibly important to me to get out there, and something that I've been noticing constantly as I have been distracted. Maybe not by porn, but definitely by Netflix, definitely by Hulu, definitely by consuming media on my cell phone, scrolling through Snapchat, scrolling through Instagram, and ignoring the really important tasks like Primal Mind, Primal Made, the website that I just put up yesterday, the podcast, YouTube channels, YouTube videos, my own personal development, my own fitness, my own health, my own relationship with God that are going to be what is the difference in me living a happy life. Not just a happy life, but a life that will allow me to do good unto this world. And so I hope everyone has a great night. I enjoy talking about this. There's going to be more to come. We're not stopping here. We're not fucking stopping here. We're going to make a big difference together, and I am just so happy to be here. Have a good night, guys. Peace.